Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Talk in English on PTS and the radio. My name's Andrea.
And my name is Gabe, and in today's On the Go, we will be in a city that is full of wind.
That's right, the title of our On the Go is Wind and Rice Noodles. We're going to see how these two things go together. To help you understand our On the Go, let's look at our key words. Say them with us. Our first one is wind. Wind. There is no wind today. The trees are not moving.
Powder. Powder. Put this powder in some hot water, then you will have coffee.
Paste. Paste. Bessie made some paste with flour and water.
Squeeze. Squeeze. Dustin squeezed my arm until it hurt.
Cut. Cut. Jessie cut her hair. It's shorter now.
Okay, let's look at these words and say them one more time. The first one is wind. Wind.
Powder. Powder.
Paste. Paste.
Squeeze. Squeeze.
And cut. Cut.
Great job. Now let's go see what Eddie has to say.
Wait. Wind and rice noodles. I don't get it.
Well, that's the name of our lesson.
I know. We're going to learn how wind and rice noodles go together.
Yes,
Go
Eddie.
together. Huh. Yeah, here's the mission. Here it is. How does wind help make rice noodles?
How does wind help make rice noodles?
Let's join Campbell on the go.
Woo! It is windy here. Hi everyone. Welcome to Hsinchu, the windy city. I'm here to find out how people learn to live with the wind. Let's go! On the go! Woo!
Hsinchu is called the Windy City because there is a lot of wind here. The people who live here learn to live with the wind in different ways.
Whoa! Look at that fan! It's so big! Is that what's making all this wind? Actually, no. That's not a fan at all. That's a special machine. This machine isn't making wind. It's using the power of the wind to create electricity in a very easy and clean way. Wow, so the wind can be very useful. I wonder what else the wind can do. Hey, do you smell that? It smells like rice noodle soup. Hey, that's right. I heard that the wind can be useful for making rice noodles too. How? Well, let's find out. Come on.
Wow, Gabe, you are making a lot of wind. Woo,
Yes, I am.
Woo, it's getting windy. It's getting windy.
And the wind is blowing your hair away.
Yes, okay.
And there's one word that I want to talk about. The word is wind. Say it with me again. Wind. Wind is air that moves. And so if you are outside, then there might be a lot of air that moves. There is a lot of wind.
Now we cannot see the wind, but we can see what the wind does. When trees are moving or when flags are blowing, the wind is moving them.
Exactly. And so we see that Hsinchu is the windy city. Hey, If it's windy, what does that mean?
Well, if it's windy, that means there's a lot of wind outside. If you're listening to a weather report, it might say today will be a windy day, so be careful.
Okay, well, we see in this windy city that there are a lot of fans. And these fans like to use the wind to create or make electricity. So that's how they get their electricity.
You know, it's interesting to learn how people live with wind in different ways. And you can use wind to do many different things.
That's right. You can use wind to create electricity, or if you're on a boat, you can also use the wind to get your boat moving.
And we're also going to learn how wind is used to make rice noodles. We know that at the end of that section, Campbell was going to look for rice noodle soup.
Yes, he's going to look for rice noodle soup. And I think it's time for us right now to learn a little more English.
大家好，我是 Thomas， 又到了我们 On the Go 的时间了。今天我们来到了丰城新竹，所以首先要学的就是 wind 这个字，风 wind 多风的形容词叫 windy， 所以形容新竹的时候，你说它就是丰城，新竹是它的名字，它另外有一个名字叫做丰城，你就可以说新竹 is also known as。is also known as 被人家知道有另外一个名称叫做 the Windy City。新竹 is also known as the Windy City。另外你说新竹有很多风，风是不可数的，你就可以说 there is a lot of wind in 新竹。a lot of wind。那人们在那边就要跟风共存了哈。People there learn to live with the wind in many different ways. To live with 跟风来一起共存，在哪一些方面上面可以来跟他们共存，来利用风呢？首先学到的是 wind turbine， 风力涡轮的发电机，这种风力发电机叫做 wind turbine。turbine T-U-R-B-I-N-E。 The machine, the wind turbine, is using the power of the wind to create electricity。 所以呢，这种风力的发电机呢，就用风的力量 the power of the wind to create, to make 来制造 electricity 电力 electricity。 另外我们今天呢，有看到 rice noodles。 rice noodles 就是米粉，怎么制造的呢？我们继续来看。
We are in one of the few places that still makes rice noodles the old traditional way. Let's see how it's done.
The first step is to grind the rice into a powder. The rice powder is then put into a special bag with water. Once the bag is full, it is tied. Then it's put on a machine that slowly presses all the water out. Today, it takes about 1 hour to get all of the water out. In the old days, it took 6 hours.
After the water is pressed out, the rice is taken out of the bag. The rice is now a sticky paste. Right now, I'm putting the rice paste in a special machine that makes it into a special shape. This shape is called 果团.
The guotuan are put into a special machine that squeezes them into many noodles. Then these noodles are put back into the wooden boxes and steamed again.
I hope this doesn't take too long. I'm getting a little hungry.
Well, this is interesting. We learned the old traditional way of making rice noodles. Now today they make rice noodles in a faster way, but it's good to look back and see how they were first made.
That's right. In the old days, it took 6 hours to do something, whereas now it only takes a couple of hours. But wow, things have changed.
They have changed. Well, let's take a look at some of the key words you heard in that section. The first one is powder. Powder. Powder is very small pieces of dried stuff. We often use powder to make other things.
Now, something special about powder is that you can blow it very easily. So if you are making food and you need to use flour, then flour is a kind of powder. And really, you can blow it very easily.
And we know that to make rice noodles, you first start by making rice powder. Then you take that powder and make it into a paste. And our next key word is paste. Paste. Paste is something that is thick and sticky. We can eat different kinds of paste or use it for cooking.
That's right. Many different kinds of food have paste or use paste in them.
We often use toothpaste. Well, we should use toothpaste every day, right?
That's right. To brush our teeth, we need to use toothpaste.
Yeah, gal. Okay, let's learn more from Thomas.
首先我们来看的一个字是 grind， 磨 grind。所以首先要制作米粉的时候 ，you have to grind the rice into powder。要磨碾碎这些米呢，让它变成粉末状。The first step， 第一步呢 ，the first step is to grind the rice。grind the rice。碾过压碎，然后呢把它磨碎，叫做 grind. The first step is to grind the rice into powder. Powder 就是粉末。另外呢，像磨咖啡机就叫做 coffee grinder， 就是用这个字grinder G-R-I-N-D-E-R coffee grinder. 接下来学面团叫做 paste. After the water is pressed out，所以这些 powder 米所磨成的粉末跟水放在袋子里面呢，接下来要把水压出来。After the water is pressed out， 水压出来了之后呢 ，the rice is now a sticky paste。Sticky 是黏的，所以现在呢，这个粉末已经变成黏黏的面团。接下来呢，要学蒸煮，蒸的这个动词叫 steam。也是水蒸气的这个名词steam。然后呢，要把什么来蒸呢？是果团。The 果团 are then put into wooden boxes。果团放在这些木质的箱子里面 ，and steamed for 45 minutes。然后呢，就蒸了45分钟。接下来呢，我们继续来看。
The steamed guotuan are done. It's time to make the noodles look like, well, noodles.
The guotuan are put into a special machine that squeezes them into many noodles. Then these noodles are put back into the wooden boxes and steamed again. After the noodles are steamed, they're laid out so they can cool down. Then it's time to cut them shorter. Once they're cut, it's time to bring them up to the roof. The roof is the best place for rice noodles to dry. Here they can dry quickly. This is where the wind gets very useful again.
Ah, I see. Here is where they use the wind to dry the noodles. So the wind is useful for making electricity, and it's also useful for making noodles. Wow! Wow. We've really learned a lot today. Today we saw how they use the wind to make electricity here in Hsinchu, and we also learned how the wind helps to make rice noodles. And now I'm enjoying a nice hot bowl of rice noodle soup. Well, I'll see you next time on the go. Bye!
Ow! Andrea! Why did you do that? You squeezed my finger.
Well, Gabe, I'm sorry, but I wanted to show you a special game. But maybe we'll do that later.
Okay, well, maybe we should teach that word squeeze right now. Okay, the word is squeeze. Squeeze. When you squeeze something, that means you use your hands or something to make that thing smaller or tighter. You squeeze it.
That's right. Now you might squeeze someone's hand or someone's finger, or when you're cooking, you might squeeze something to get all the water out.
When I was doing something wrong when I was a child, my mother would squeeze my hand to tell me that I was doing something wrong and that I should stop. And it hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gabe. If you're washing clothes, you might squeeze your clothes to get the water out so that they dry quicker.
That's a pretty good idea. Well, hey, let's look at this next key word that also hurts. The word is cut. Cut. When you cut something, you make it shorter. So if you are cutting your hair, you are making your hair shorter. Have you ever gotten cut by something?
Well, yes, I have gotten cut by a knife. That's when the knife came onto my skin and cut it.
Oh man, that really hurts. So you want to be careful what you are cutting. Of course, when you are making food, sometimes you need to cut it. And the people in Hsinchu would cut their noodles.
That's right. They would cut the noodles into shorter pieces so it was easier to cook.
Well, hey, I think that we found the answer to the mission here. The mission is, how does wind help make rice noodles?
How does wind help make rice noodles? Well, the wind dries the noodles.
Hey, all right. Well, everybody, I think now it's time for us to go and learn a little more with Thomas.
接下来动作跟一个动词有关系，叫做挤压 ，squeeze， S-Q-U-E-E-Z-E， to squeeze。所以果团呢 ，the 果团 are then put into a special machine。那这个 special machine 特别的机器呢 ，that squeezes them into many noodles， 就把果团挤压，然后压出这些 noodles 米粉出来哈。接下来就要去把它蒸，蒸完了之后冷却。冷却完就只有可以做切剪这个动作了，切剪或者割这个动作叫 cut。Then it's time to cut the noodles shorter. To cut something shorter， 把米粉给剪短一点。你也可以说 Then it's time to cut the noodles into shorter pieces， 剪成比较短的片段这种米粉，然后就可以拿去晾干。这时候风又帮了大忙了哈，拿到屋顶去呢 ，You can use the wind to dry the noodles。所以使什么东西变干燥的动词叫做 dry，D-R-Y。所以在丰城新竹呢，真是把风用到了极致哈。我们今天的 On the Go 就到这边了，下一次再见了，拜拜。
Calendar phrase.
Gabe? What's wrong? You look scared.
Andrea, did you see the weather report? Did you look outside the window?
No, I didn't.
Andrea, a typhoon is coming.
A typhoon is coming?
Yes, a big storm is on its way here.
Gabe?
Oh, I'm so
Gabe?
scared.
Are you kidding?
Andrea? Yes, of course I'm kidding. As today's calendar phrase, the phrase is, a typhoon is coming.
A typhoon is coming.
Friends, if there is a big storm, if there is a typhoon that is coming to your neighborhood, then you should tell other people a typhoon is coming.
Well, right now, a calendar phrase skit is coming. Do you see it?
Oh, hey.
Do you see it?
Yeah, you're telling the truth, right?
Yeah, this
That's
is
good.
the truth.
Let's go see the calendar phrase skit.
A typhoon is coming.
A typhoon is coming.
台风即将来到。
Hey, Dan, guess what? A typhoon is coming.
Are you serious?
Yes, a typhoon is coming.
When?
It's coming tomorrow.
Oh no! A typhoon is coming? I'm not ready.
That's okay. We can get ready together. Don't worry.
Okay. Thanks, John.
A typhoon is coming.
A typhoon is coming.
台风即将来到。
Well, guys, it is interesting to learn about wind and rice noodles, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And to learn about this windy city, Hsinchu.
That's true. Well, let's practice with our question of the day. And Eddie, do you have it for us?
I always have the question, so here it is. Do you like to eat rice noodles? Why or why not?
Do you like to eat rice noodles? Why or why not?
Sure. I like to eat rice noodles. I like to eat any noodles and any food.
All right, so next time you eat rice noodles, you can think about our on the go. Friends, ask someone this question today and be sure to come back tomorrow. We're going to review our whole week together right here on Let's Talk in English.
On PTS and on the radio.
Where learning English can be fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Look at the weather report before you go out today.